Are you talking about the devoted thing?
Tithe or no?
That's all. And that's all. I'm going to read. I want to go over what the law says it is.
No, it's 27.
No, I mean verse 30.
It's in chapter 27. Start about verse 30 and about to 33, and then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 14 and whatnot, and I just want to what the law, what the actual word says about it. It says, and now this is the New King James I'm reading here. It says in 27:30, it says, "In all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. If a man wants at all to redeem any of his tithes, he shall add 1/5 to it. And concerning the tithe of the herd or the flock, whatever passes under the rod, the 10th one shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not inquire whether it is good or bad, nor shall he exchange it. And if he exchanges it at all, then both it and the one exchanged for it shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel on Mount Sinai." And we're going through this so that we understand what tithe is. Because you ask the average person, they don't know what a tithe even is, what it means to tithe, as laid out in the law. And the law is the only description of tithe that we even have. There's no New Testament description of it, and we'll get into that in a minute. But the law describes it. So it's more than just me giving a tenth to God, because the law went much deeper into it than that. One of the aspects that stand out in this that we're not used to seeing is if a man wants all to redeem any of his tithes. What that meant in the Mosaic law is a person could get back some of his tithe if he needed to. Some of the 10% that he gave of his flock or of his money, and that's another thing, they had money.
Right.
We're often taught that that they didn't have money, that the animals and the fruit and were their money. They actually had currency. They had coin, they had currency. And that was another thing. But it says that the man wanted to redeem any of his tithes. He could redeem it, meaning he could get back from the priest if he needed to. If he did that, he would have to add, instead of him giving 10, he would have to get 15. Because it says he had to add a fifth part to it. So the next time he would have to get 15%. Or the 15th to back, to cover the part he got back. Turn over to, and the rest of it, I mean, the reason why I'm flipping through that, because the rest of it is still,
Deuteronomy 14.
It's still going to the 10th part. What comes under the rod, what comes under. And the principle that the law laid down, it wasn't just their financial, everything they had, they tithed. Even their children. Firstborn was always, the firstborn male of every house was dedicated unto God.
That's a scripture before it.
The firstborn male of every house was dedicated unto God. That's always. It was more than just money. And the reason being because it was a representation of you give God your best. Your first and your best. Turn over to Deuteronomy 14.
22 to 28.
Any questions, y'all shoot. And because this is also being recorded, because it's for a lot of people that are not even here. They're going to want to hear this because they had a lot of questions. I'm going to start at 22. You shall truly tithe all the increase of your grain that the field produces year by year. You shall eat before the Lord your God in the place where he chooses to make his name abide. The tithe of your grain and your new wine and your oil, of the firstborn of your herds, of your flocks, that you may learn to fear the Lord your God always. But if the journey is too long for you, that you're not able to carry the tithe, or if the place where the Lord your God chooses to put his name is too far